Here's my weekly breakdown for the week of June 23rd to June 27th. Probably going to be coughing a lot just because I went for a run and my body's just coughing up and yeah, just a bunch of mucus is trying to get out of my system here. So I try to control it, but yeah. So let's just start with the pairs that I am looking for. So basically all these pairs need the daily shift to structure. So let's start with GJ. So as you can see, weekly's at a higher high. We just need a weekly pullback to go to take it to the next weekly structure point, which will be right there. The daily currently is bearish, so we just need the daily to make a higher high to shift structure in order to go bullish. So that's what we're waiting for. It needs a daily shift. NJ or NU. We've had a proper pullback, so as you can see, 1 point, 2 point, 3 points. So we've had a nice proper weekly pullback. Next weekly structure points right here. Daily is however bearish, so we just need the daily to make a lower low, and then we can break that and then take it up here. USD CAD, same thing at a weekly structure point. So 1, 2, 3, good weekly point. It's bearish. We can actually, since this is the next weekly structure point, not sure why I had it there. So this would be the next weekly structure point. We just take it down to this weekly here. So okay, and you can see that the daily is currently bullish, so we just need a daily to make a higher high shift structure, and then we can look at taking it lower. 80 JPY, we've pulled back. Price is still bearish. So as you can see right there, pull back to this weekly area of interest right here. So we got one touch, two touch. We can just bring this right here. So we got one touch, two touch, three touch, four touch. Nice weekly zone. On the daily, however, it is bullish. So bullish, we just need price to then just break this high right here. Or just, yeah, basically, oh, whoops. We need price to make a higher high, then break, and then we can look at taking it down lower. So we need a daily shift to structure. AUD USD, price pulled back to a weekly area of interest, one touch, two touch, three touch, all within like last 3 years on here. So it's a nice weekly zone. Daily, however, is bearish. So you can see daily made a higher high right here. We broke, so now we're bearish. So we just needed to make a lower low and then shift structure to then, yeah, we can target the next weekly structure point right here. USD CZK. Currently, we are bearish. The weekly bias has closed as a bullish, so we would be looking for a counter trend trade because we don't want to trade against this previous week closing bullish. So next weekly structure point would be right here. As you can see, it's nice and clean up until we get here and we have room. And the daily is bearish, so we just need the daily to shift structure. So if it breaks above here, we can then look for a pullback and then go, or if it comes lower, then switches. But we just need a daily shift to structure first. All of these pairs here need a daily pullback. So starting with Euro GBP. So as you can see, we are currently at a weekly area of interest. So one touch, two touch, three touch, four touch. So we're here. The daily is bullish, so we would just want the daily just have a proper pullback. So 1 to 2 daily candle pullback, and then we can look at taking it to the next weekly structure point right here. Because it is a proper weekly pullback, we can take it all the way to the weekly structure point, which would be right here. Silver, as you can see, we are bullish, but delete this there. The previous weekly bias closes a bearish, so we'd want to take a counter trend. Next weekly structure point is right here, so we just take it up to there. The daily is bearish, so you can see higher high, broke the low right there, the higher low. So we just need a proper daily pullback. So again, 1 to 2 daily candle pullback, then we can take that down to the next weekly structure point right here. GJ or Euro JPY. So you can see we're at a higher high, weekly bias. It's a strong weekly bullish. The next weekly structure point is right here. Daily candle is bullish as well too, so we just need a proper daily pullback. So again, 1 to 2 daily candle pullback, and then we can look at then taking it higher. US oil. Previous weekly buys closed as this strong bullish candle on here. These candles are basically the same as an engulfing, so this is pretty good. The next weekly structure point is right here, and the daily is bullish, so we just need a daily to have a pullback. So 1 to 2 daily candle pullback again, and we can take it to the next structure, weekly structure point right here. Use the SEK. Let's see. We are currently bullish because bearish, bearish, bearish broke the previous lower high right here. So now we're bullish. So we're looking for a weekly with pullback. So next week we're looking for it to make a bottom wick and then pop up here. So weekly. So this is the next weekly support and resistance right here. So that's where we can target. So with the daily is currently bullish as well too. So bearish, broke this lower high right here. So we're bullish. So we just need a proper pullback. So again, 1 to 2 daily candle pullback. 1 to 2 daily candle pullback, and then we can look at and taking it to the next weekly structure point right there. CHF weekly. As you can see, strong bullish candle. Next weekly support or resistance zone is right here. So then we can, yeah, so the daily just needs, again, um, so again, we just need, again, 1 to 2 daily candle pullback to then take it over here because it is a weekly wick pullback. We're targeting the next weekly support point right here. So yeah, 1 to 2 daily candle pullback, and then we can look at and taking that further. Next up, we have the ones that need the 4-hour shift to structure. So again, here, price is bearish, price pullback. So we have zone here, 1, 2, 3, and this is 2002. So yeah, what am I saying? 2002, 2022. Wow. That shows how old I am now. So yeah, we've had a proper pullback. You can see price pulled back properly to here. So daily is also bearish. So daily right here, bearish. So we've had the pullback already. And then the 4-hour is currently bearish actually. So you can see that price went bearish right here. We've had a pullback. We're already right here. So probably if it pulls back a little, or even if it breaks low and then pulls back, this is pretty good. But yeah, daily looks pretty good for that. So we just need the 4-hour basically to give us a signal in order for us to enter. So if this 4-hour pulls back a little bit, it doesn't even have to break this low on here because it is already bearish. So we just need it to give us a bearish candle close in our direction, which it kind of did already in here. So like basically, but it's not like we're gonna have to wait until London to even like be interested in this. So that's why I'm like I like that's why I'm gonna wait for it to give us a little bit more proper of a signal. But this is looking pretty good just because the daily, like I said, the daily is already set up nicely, and the weekly structure point would be right here. USD NOK had a proper pullback, so we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch right here. Next weekly structure point is right here because it's a proper weekly pullback. The daily is also bearish. As you can see, we are currently bearish since here. So nice proper pullback. And the 4-hour is currently bullish. So we just need the 4-hour to break this higher low right here and then have a pullback. And then we can look at it taking it lower. So that looks pretty good. Euro PLN. Let's see what's going on here. We are having a nice pullback. So we pulled back to this area. We have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. So nice pullback. Indecision candle closed right here. Daily is bullish as well too. So you can see nice and bullish right here, right here. So we don't need a pullback. We just need the 4-hour to be in trend. So the 4-hour is currently bearish. When we break this lower high right here for the 4-hour, we can then wait for a pullback, get a rejection confirmation, look to take it up higher. USD MXN. You can see we've had a pullback here as well too. So we've pulled back. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. How far back is this? 2019, not interested. Okay. So basically this has pulled back, but I don't want to trade it when it's not at the weekly area of interest. So it's wicked into there. You can see it wicked in here and then drops. It is possible like price does wick in and then drop, but I just like it to close right at the area of interest. So for that purpose, not at weekly area of interest. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna move this one to the not interested, not this week. And then basically all these ones are the pairs for not interested. So going here, you can see that same thing. We haven't really closed at the area of interest. I'm not interested in UJ. GU, same thing. Didn't properly close at the area of interest. We got one touch, two touch, three touch. It didn't close back at there. You can see price does wick into it and then drop, wick, then drop, wick, then drop, but I'm not interested in those. Not at a valid for Euro HUF, not at a valid area of interest. We got one touch and that's it. Yeah. And GBP NZD, not at a proper weekly area of interest. GA, same thing. Euro AUD, same thing, not at a weekly area of interest. We can't do a weekly wick pullback because it's not at a higher high or a lower low. USD SGD, not at a valid weekly area of interest as well too for a so we yeah it didn't pull back properly to a proper weekly area of interest. Not interested. USD DKK indecision candle here, so we'd only be looking for counter trends, and we're basically already at the next weekly structure point and we wicked into it, so not interested. USD HUF already wicked into structure point, price close we as a bullish candle in the previous weekly, so we'd have to be looking for counter trends, and we're already at the weekly structure point right there, so not interested in that as well. GBP CAD, not at a proper weekly area of interest. USD HKD, can't buy this because price gets chopped off right here, so if you buy into this, you will get smoked. NZD JPY, weekly structure point is already right here, so you can't take this trade. USD ZAR, so not at a proper weekly area of interest. As you can see, this is the weekly one. Next would be right here. Yeah, just not at a proper weekly area of interest, so not interested. Your NZD, not at a proper, can't do, oh, wait a second. Yeah, right, because this is still bullish all the way until here, so we didn't pull back to a weekly area of interest. So we can't take this, and it's also you can't do a weekly week pullback because it's not at a higher high or a lower low, so not interested. Euro USD, can't counter. So previous weekly bias closes a bearish candle, so we have to look for sells, right? We're already at the weekly structure point right here, so you can't counter trend sell this, not interested. Euro HKD, same thing, weekly structure points right here. Previous weekly candle closes bearish, so you can't already sell into this because we're already at the weekly take profit. Because if you try to sell into this and we're already here, you get smoked. USD PLN, you can't sell because previous weekly closes bullish candle, so you'd be looking for buys, and the next weekly structure point is right here. So technically we can then, yes, look for counter trend trades. The daily is bearish though, so you would need the daily to then shift to then go back up. I don't see the daily shifted structure, then pulling back and then going all the way in this week in order to do that. CAD JPY, currently bearish. This weekly candle did close this way. This is bullish, so we could look for a weekly wick pullback. We've had a daily pullback as well too, and the 4 hour is currently bearish. So in order for this to work, we would need price to break and then pull back. So could be looking for this. All right, so this is not bad actually. You need 4-hour SOS and USD MXN. We are not at the weekly area interested, not interested. So these are all pairs not interested in this week. Also, these pairs here are stuck within this massive range, so I'm not interested in that. That's AJ and then NZD Cat, same thing. Just because there's going to be weekly areas of interest everywhere, and you're going to go into one and hit. Yeah, it's just you don't have enough like a proper traffic in order to do these, so not interested. So yeah, that's my weekly breakdown. Um, yeah. So we'll see how the week goes there. Looks pretty good so far, and that's it. Hope that helps. If you have any questions, message me. If you want to learn from me, message me. There's obviously more details in how all of this actually works, but this will show you like the gist. I kind of basically told you everything already. The ones that, when they have the proper daily pullback, you just want to wait for the 4-hour, right? So when the 4-hour does shift and go and trend, you want the 4-hour to have a pullback. The 4 hour is then going to give you, like, for example, if you're trying to sell, let's say, like you're trying to sell, it pulls back. When it gives you a 4-hour bearish candle closing your direction, it's then going to give you a lower time frame signal, but you need to wait for this 4-hour to close in your direction first. And then when the lower time frame gives you the shift of structure, then you look at taking it back lower. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know.